If you're not tan and jacked and ready to attack, or if you are weak and pale and ready to fail, then this is not the place for you, 'cause it's time for the Stardometer with its y'all.
Welcome in, everyone. That's one way to open up the episode. I am the co-host this evening. I am the End of Days 33. We're joined here with Shauna Reed Har. How are you doing, Shauna?
I am good, packed, ready to go to the slams of summer, or if you want to call it like I do, hot WrestleMania, ready to have a ball this weekend. So be on the lookout for all of my content because I'll probably be putting way too much out there.
Yes, it is better than Great Balls of Fire, the one time they did that PLE. And we're also joined by the Invisible Man, Alex Coquito. How are you doing today?
Cyrus blew it is crazy.
It's like an omen. It's like Cyrus blew it.
Yes, that was the Invisible Man with his with Cyrus. We're gonna start. Oh, welcome everybody to episode 71 of the WWE review show. As always, we're a little light today because, as Shauna has alluded, it is right before SummerSlam, so everybody's gotta get their travels in. So yes, but breaking news: Kai Kavari is no longer with the WWE. He is, I believe, asked for his release for like personal reasons, and I can't. It's not for everybody and stuff. So I wish him nothing but the best. He wants to focus on his family and his faith. So hey, you can't knock that. You can't knock that. So what did you think about when you heard about it? I heard about it, like late yesterday. I know y'all talked about it beforehand, but I didn't actually catch wind of it until after Evolve went off the air.
Yeah, I mean, good for him. You know, I think there's times in our lives where we're all like, hey, this is absolutely what I want to do. And you get there and you're like, actually, this is not what I want to do. So, I mean, in his message, he alluded to, he had like a lot of family things. He had some faith things going on, and I think it's kind of weird saying the values aren't there when you have, and I alluded to this on the podcast earlier, like Shawn Michaels and how religious he is. You've got The Undertaker, and of course he's married to Michelle McCool, and we know how religious Michelle is. So just kind of find that. But you know what? If this is his path that he wishes to choose, so be it. We wish him the best of luck. And, if maybe down the line he wants to return, hopefully it was an amicable split. And if he wants to come back, great. Maybe see him on the indies, but wish him the best of luck in whatever his future endeavors are.
Yeah, I think he also alluded, like, I think he's into real estate, and he can kind of make enough. He can make enough money to live off doing that and everything without the grind. I guess the traveling. And for me, y'all probably can't tell with the beard. I was actually in corporate America like for a little bit, and I realized that the money was good, but it just wasn't. It just wasn't for me and everything. So, and I'm retired military anyway, so it's not like I needed to live off of. So it's like, you know what? I get it and everything. It's like, hey, you just want to do what you can do to enjoy your time, and you don't have to really worry about the grind as much, I guess. So, yeah. So I didn't think of it more of the faith thing. I thought of it more like, okay, well, you could make this money and travel and be away from your family, or, for the potential of, so it's like, I get it. And good luck to him in all his future endeavors. And we're going to miss saying Cyrus blew it on the stream, but I did like the name Kai Kavari. And I was actually hoping Kai would actually win a match because I did like his match against Kale Dixon. I always want to say Kyle, but Kale Dixon a couple weeks ago. I don't know if the Invisible Man wants to chime in or not, or if he can chime in or not. Okay. Probably won't. He'll probably join us later. He's here. Don't worry. He's here. He can hear everything we're saying. So I guess we'll just start off with this Evolve Effect 2.0 we got going on this evening. So we're going to start off the show. So we're going to start off the show, which was another cold open, but it was a little bit different. We had basically setting up the 8-woman tag match that's later on in the evening. And Shauna could probably talk about this more than I can because I know when I was like looking at it, my mind was blown last week with all the women that's involved. I really lost my mind on the Evolve episode because I was like, wait a minute, who's being replaced? Who's replacing who? Like I couldn't even keep track because I didn't actually pay attention to the graphic. Which when I did pay attention to the graphic, it still didn't make sense to me because I'm like, why was she even on the graphic? Because she was the first person that got taken out. But anyway, basically Xena Sterling came. She's replacing Laney Luck in as the fourth member of, I guess, the good guys. We'll call them the good guys against Nikita and her faction. So Shauna, what did you think about this whole setup?
So yeah, I was kind of shocked by it because we know that Lainey's hurt storyline, from
Mm-hmm.
everything that happened with PJ Vasa, but we didn't get any like in between. And this is where if they updated the Evolve website and they did things more on their social media, we would, be able to be privy to this. It was just kind of out of the blue. Hey, Lainey's injured. So I think this is where maybe we could have had something like, a news report that they always put out, when someone's injured and they're like, oh, they've been taken to medical because they've twisted their thumbnail. And, their fingers has to be in a sling for the next 6 weeks or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of caught me off guard there because I was like, hey, how did Lainey get hurt? And for a second, I was like, oh my gosh, is she actually hurt for a hot second? So it went to her social media. But I think this also kind of shows that they probably shouldn't trust Xena. She was right there. She was there at the beginning of last week. So I think they need to watch out for her because she was ready to jump, ready to go in on this and the way they had kind of portrayed her before. So I think it's going to be interesting. It was unique to see not the standard cold open we had been getting, like,
Mm-hmm.
hey, here's what's happening tonight. So going right into this locker room bit. But I'm always excited to see Thea Hale. I was kind of hoping to see dad mode Thea, but it looks like we have regular old Thea. So kind of excited for what she does down here. But yeah, it was just kind of like, hey, this happened. I'm here now. So I just wish they would have had something either at the end or on social media to kind of play up that Lainey was hurt before going into the tag match. So
Yeah, for me, it was actually weird because even though I know they've said it last week, I wasn't even expecting Lady Luck to be in this match to begin with because she got beat down by PJ Vasa.
yeah, and
So
she
when I
was in
saw
the
this whole-
graphic.
yeah, so that's the thing. I didn't notice. I'm always watching my phone, so I saw the four, but I didn't actually see who the four ladies were. I just assumed it was the four ladies that were there last week. So when they were talking about Xena Sterling replacing, I was like, wait, who's she replacing? Because all right, we have to go back like 2 weeks before this, where we had Ren Sinclair, Scott, Skylar Ray, Dia Hell showing up at and Layla Diggs, I think, showing up at the end of the match a couple weeks ago. So then we go fast forward to last week, where we see some of the same ladies, but not all the same ladies that was involved in that segment because now you had Anya Rune backstage, Xena Sterling, Layla Diggs was sitting there, and I can't even remember who the fourth person was. But it doesn't even matter because at the end of that same episode, it was a different group of four ladies that showed up. Like some of them were the same, but it was like different. So when this happened, I was like, wait, did I miss something? I was like really confused. I kind of liked a little bit of the chaos that's like all the women are after Nikita's belt, but the different combinations, like I was just completely thrown off, and I didn't even realize it until after Evolve went off. I was like, oh, Lady Luck was in the graphic the entire time, even though she shouldn't have been in the graphic in the first place because she was clearly taken out before all the shenanigans happened in the first place. But yeah, but it was a different way of setting it up, and I do like it. Gabe Sapolsky is really good at once we get used to an opening, snap like that, we have something completely different.
I know. I'm still missing the to be continued at the end. That was the best for those 2 weeks.
To be continued. I'm like, someone took a marketing class. I'm like, I thought that was really ingenious. Let's see if the Visible Man can jump in now if he has any thoughts.
I do. I'm happy for these four women. Xena Sterling is still a villain to our eyes because of the Kill Bill graphic. Other than that, happy for Thea. I like that Ren Sinclair said at the end, how many of those little bottles you have with you? You might need them. So I'm like, all right, just guys get to just drink your ass away. So that's all I gotta say. Hit the beep, beep, beep. Keep going, EOD.
All right. Oh, and since Ren Sinclair was there, it was also Happy Wednesday. So I'm glad she got to throw that line in because she's been doing it a lot.
And I still don't know
That was
why
weird,
she
too.
carried the belt either, the Speed Championship belt. I'm still confused on that. I can maybe understand the ID title, but I'm still going to go on like if the Speed Championship can kind of be carried through all brands, why can't she have the Speed title on her?
You
But
know what?
that's just me.
My whole theory on that got messed up because I was thinking, oh, okay, maybe they can't take the ID title away until I actually saw the ID title at at the show I went to. So I'm like, okay, well, it's obviously that's not the problem. They can actually take the belt to other shows, no problem. So I really don't know what the deal is. The only thing I could really think of is the fact that since it's taped and they don't know what could possibly happen in between taping. So, okay, in case we have to make a change real quick with the belts, even though it still doesn't make sense because then you would assume you would need to make a change with the actual person too, which I have a theory about why this 8-woman match was the way it was. I don't know if it was a retape or if that was the way it always was because I wasn't at the tapings. But I'm like, it does kind of make sense the fact that Layla Diggs wasn't in this at all, even though she was featured prominently kind of in the storyline. If she can't wrestle, was this always the plan or did they kind of just reshoot this? I don't know. And everything, conspiracy theories like going in my mind about that.
No, to add on a little bit more, Renton Claire's title was shown on main event. Like you have the balls to show it on main event, but you can't show it on Evolve. It doesn't make any. It's main event. It's less than Evolve, for God's sakes. Like
you know what
it has
you know
to
what it
be.
actually could
Main
be?
event ain't on Tubi.
That might actually be why because it's on Tubi. Maybe something about how they do things. Maybe it's because it's on Tubi. Like, because I don't. You would think like under McMahon, everything was like controlled. Like McMahon, maybe there's something about Tubi where I don't know. Maybe they just can't for some reason. I have
But
no
then it
idea.
makes no sense
It
with the
makes no
ID
sense, though.
title because they mention ID all the time. The ID 1.0, the ID talent. We're scouting for like ID is mentioned so much.
Yeah.
So in that theory, the title should be on Evolve.
Yeah, I just meant more like the speed title, maybe. But the ID title, yeah, it doesn't make any sense. It's like I don't know why they do it that way. I don't think we've ever actually seen. Maybe one time I think we've seen the ID title. I think ever on the show, and I'm not even sure if we saw the actual title. Maybe we saw like a picture of the title, like on a graphic or something like that. Like I don't know, but it's really weird.
I don't know, but I'm going to try to get an interview with Lainey next month at that Beyond Wrestling Showcase. So if I do, I'm going to if she'll interview with me, I'm going to try to find out why. It's my goal. It's one of my questions I have.
Okay, we do have another question, which goes to our very next segment. Harley Riggins and Tate Wilder. Why is this still going on? And I'm sorry, just listened to TNA real quick. But why is this story? Hopefully, this is the end of the story. Like, all right, we'll just take it away. Harley Riggins comes out, Tate Wilder comes out, and yeah, let's if this man wants to do a play-by-play of this match, we go straight into.
And here comes a quick play-by-play by Alex Coquito. Harley Riggins does a whisper in the wind. It actually connects. Tate Wilder did a sling blade backstabber combination that was sick. He goes for the moonsault, which I call the revolution. Does it once, it connects. He does it twice, it gets countered. Big Rig does which they call it the shotgun, which is like the GTS pop up to the knee. For the 1, 2, 3, and Harley Riggins sucks on his fingers, all three of them, and no comment.
All right, Shauna, what did you think about this match?
First off, still my entire, why are we doing this again? Why are we here? This should, if you're going to continue it on NXT. A new group of people that have maybe never watched Evolve, like put it there. Also, it makes no sense to me that before Tate Wilder gets the call up to NXT, he finally gets his win. He can ride out on a high, go to NXT, and now he's coming back because he wants this match and he loses. So now being able to have left on that high, you've brought him back and he's lost. So that kind of negates his win, I think, for his final match. I'm like, okay, can this one be the done? Are we over it? You know, when we heard commentary like bragging on Tate and all of that stuff. And Harley was on main event tonight, I think, as well with Harlem, if I remember seeing he was going to be there tonight.
Okay.
Yeah, they had a tag team. And I was just like, I was like, I first when it got announced next last week, I was like, why are we doing this again? So like when the match was going on, I still the whole time, why are we doing this again? And I think it did not like I don't think it did anything. It gave Harlem a win, great, awesome. Did nothing for Tate because Tate left on a high, came back, lost, so now he's at a low again. So if you're going to continue it, let it go to NXT, give it to a new audience, revise it there, but we don't need to see it again. We're just done.
All right, Visible Man, your thoughts?
They said in commentary this is 1 year in the making. This is their one and only match they've ever had on Evolve history, and Harley Riggins had the win because Tate already left. You left, and you left on a losing streak. You only won one match out of 1,000. You can't say I'm coming back. No. Harley Riggins has been doing the work, kicking ass. And he's even more perverted as before. He's way more perverted than Aaron, I might say. So just give him the win. Like if he's the ace, he is, dude. If he's one of the aces of Evolve, because there's another ace, I'll say his name later. Like you're gonna have to give him the dub. And for Tate, don't come back. Don't ever come back. We don't want you anymore. Like Robert Stone should put a ban on you. Like don't go back to Evolve, please. That's it.
All right, for me, watching this match was kind of like I feel like how y'all feel like I do like Tate Wilder and y'all know I like Harley Riggins, but this feud has been done and dusted for a while now. Like to bring it back for like no reason, it just didn't make any sense. So while I'm watching the match, all I was thinking about was like, please let this be the last time we see this match. That's all I was thinking. I felt kind of bad about because the match wasn't bad, but it's like there's no stakes because we've seen this before. And then I was even more surprised at the outcome of it. I don't even know why I was surprised because Tate had his perfect ending. He finished the feud, even though he got beat up immediately right after it. So it didn't make Riggins look too soft in taking the loss. And Riggins beats Tate Wilder, so it's like, okay, now he's like living high and everything. And I'm guessing the only reason why they did it so he can have like, I don't know, since he's gonna be more involved a little bit more, just like a signature win to propel him until what we'll probably talk about a little bit later. But Tate Wilder, it actually does absolutely nothing for Tate Wilder, in my opinion. Whether he won or lost, it's like because he's not really there anyway. And they kept specifying one night only. Tate Wilder's back, one night only. He's not going to be doing the Evolve two step is what I'm starting to call it because we got a lot of people in on both shows. So it's like I just don't know why they felt the need to do this one unless they just okay, we want to put on a good match so the crowd can see that we can put on TV. That other than that, storyline wise, to me it made no sense at all to do it. And Tate Wilder, I think they're still trying to figure out what they're going to do with Tate Wilder on NXT because when he was on NXT, he was like completely different than he was on Evolve. He was like super cocky, like how he didn't want any help, and it looks like they're trying to retool that a little bit and everything, bring him down a little bit. Back to factory settings, I guess, back to being a babyface Tate Wilder again. But overall, I'm glad Riggins won. Baby H is what I like to call him because he looks like the game when he first became the game, Triple H with the jean jacket and stuff like that. That's what Riggins reminds me of. And yes, he might be the most perverted person on Evolve. Even more so than Aaron Work because I did catch the Tubi teaser with Blake Howard. I was gonna park big rigs somewhere. I'm like,
No, EOD. I'll put my big rig into the Evolve Championship. I'm like, all right, no, please don't.
I'm like, Riggins, he's on one, but I like him. He's Disney bully. That's my Disney bully. I'm gonna stick beside him. But anyway, let's see. The next thing I think we had the creep is what I like to call because I don't know. I don't want to call it anonymous Evolve person, but we have like a little creeper back there tuning in on PJ Vasa and Sloan Jacobs.
They have a name for it on NXT, and I can't remember what they call the segments.
Yeah, it's like it's got. That's why I was like, okay, I don't want to call it the same.
But I can't remember what they call it on there. But it's that sly little.
It's NXT Anonymous. Like that's what.
Okay, that's where I was like.
They just forgave it.
Okay, yeah. So I don't want to call it like Evolve Anonymous. I think this person, this creep, deserves their own name. But the camera angle really looks kind of creepy though. I'm like, Anyway, so basically we have Stone Jacobs thanking PJ Vasa for assistance in taking out Lady Luck and blah blah blah. And if they win this tag match, then she'll be part of the crew. PJ Vasa looked at her like, "What? Crew? I didn't do this to be in no crew." I'm not paraphrasing, but that's basically what she meant on her face. She wants a title opportunity for helping her out because she says she did her a favor, so it's time. So she wants to collect it and everything. So Sloan was looking like, "Oh, like, this wasn't what she expected." What did you think about the segment, Shauna?
Yeah, I thought it was funny because I thought Sloan was going to be like, "Oh, hey, I'm going to get another buddy for my bestie, Nikita." And then she's like, "Oh, she doesn't want to be with my friend Nikita." So I thought that was, because when she like pulled her hand away, like, "Oh, what's going on?" And I think like even if Nikita maybe has in her mind that PJ Vasa's on their side, and Sloan isn't like letting her know what she's really up to, I think that could cause some more rift between Sloan and Nikita for her to be like, "What do you mean you knew she wasn't on our side? How could you?" So I think it's going to be pretty fun. And I think it also is nice to see a direction for PJ Vasa now that she's back, to see her going after the title and her not just like showing up and then disappearing and showing up. So I think it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, especially since how the match ended up going, how that's going to play out with those. But I think Sloan is going to quickly learn that not everybody is on her and Nikita's side, and so they had better watch their backs.
All right, Visible Man. Thoughts?
I will say, Sloan Starscream Jacobs is really trying to make a crew that no one again, no one likes Nikita. So no one's gonna hang out with her except for like Gianna and Veronica and her. That's it. Sorry, Sloan. And it's gonna be Nikita versus PJ Vasa for the future. That's fine. I think they fought once. So this will be the second time. Good for me.
Yeah, my whole thoughts on it is Sloan. I don't know what you think. I am glad though they did step because we had a question like, why did PJ Vaza even attack her in the first place? And I'm glad they kind of answered it. I just did it because I want to shut up the title and everything. I did you a favor, so now I want a title. I'm like, okay, nice and clean. You don't have to think too much of it because it did kind of come out of nowhere. Like, okay, you didn't even attack the champion. You attacked Lady Luck. Why? Oh, I just want to like do her a favor so I can get a title shot. You could have just attacked her, but I guess it's better to just get a title shot granted to you instead of like having to beat your way into one. So that made sense. And Sloan, yeah, she looked like she was about to get a crew, and yeah, So I like what they're doing with Sloan Jacobs. I really do. It was just so funny the way she like you said, she really thought she was gonna get a friend. Like, oh, we're building up someone I could talk to and everything. Because the way she said it was like almost like, oh, you play your cards right, and like PJ Vaza had any inclination of ever joining your championship group. So, and I think you're right. Like the fact that she's doing all this, Nikita's gonna be looking at this kind of sideways at some point because like, okay, now you got another one of my ops. You already messed up my birthday celebration with everybody that was there wants my title. Now even the people on my team wants my title. So it's like, I can't wait to see how this plays out. But we also had another segment right after this, which actually wasn't even a segment. It was like weird and it was different. We had our unknown. It's like Shauna. I need to get some lottery numbers from Shauna because she's been on it and everything. So we got the unknown segment that she was asking for, but it was more like this kind of played out like the anonymous Raw GM a little bit to me because it wasn't just a promo. They were actually talking about stuff that was going on the show. We had Elijah Holyfield, how he can't live up to family name because he lost this match, so they kind of interjected that in with Jensen. I thought that was kind of cool. What else they had? The Lady Luck and the Kita Lions, and basically she's talking about how she's coming. So I guess we'll start off backwards this time. The Invisible Man. What did you think about the unknown and her clairvoyance, or I guess rehashing of storylines?
I do like that she's kind of targeting. We said this on the Evolve Effect on Wrestling Soup and Friendos on Apple, Spotify, and Spreaker. Anywhere you can hear your audio platforms. I do like the unknown is targeting Lainey and Elijah making me feel that those two are going to be on a losing streak. And then she recruits them like, hey, you've been fearing everything else, all the luck. How about you just join the unknown and see what happens? And that could be like a weird, dark group. But I like that she kind of like predicts things. It's weird, but it's something new. And it's coming. She's coming soon. Hopefully, because I said this to Shauna, this is the last set of tapings. One. Next week is tapings number 2 of the second set. So I'm like, all right, come on, we're gonna see 4 new episodes, a whole new storyline. Let's see what happens. But for the unknown, she's scaring me, and she hasn't even moved a muscle other than standing there. Awesome. That's all I gotta say.
Shauna?
She reminds me of the Watcher in Marvel because she's just there. She knows, she sees what's going on. She's talking about, like, that's what she reminds me of. Like, because she's just like, in the way they're presenting her, reminds me very much of the Watcher, which I think is very interesting. So it's going to be unique to see, is she going to be a dark character? Is she going to be supernatural? Is she going to, like, where are we going? Because I think we all kind of assumed dark and spooky, but then after seeing some of the other segments, it's like, oh, is she just going to be supernatural? What's she, going to be? But I'm excited we got another segment. I'm just waiting for her to show up. I want her to just show up like she's just there. Like, no introduction, no, she's just there. Like, she just poof, she's in the ring, or poof, she's in the audience where she wasn't. I think will add to like her mystique and stuff. So I think it's going to be very interesting when we finally see her out there on Evolve. And I'm sure it's probably in these next round of tapings is when we'll finally get to see her in action.
Yeah, hopefully you're right. Like, to me, till you mentioned it, I didn't even think about it, the Watcher vibe. So she got like some little cosmic stuff going on. I kind of like that. And I think what I really like about her presentation, this almost feels like an NXT type presentation. Like, just what they're putting behind it is like they got some graphic designers probably from Full Sail or something. Like, somebody's doing something with it. They're putting a really good effort into it. So I'm like, oh, this looks like a NXT borderline, even main roster, just not as polished, which we've never seen on Evolve before. And now they're weaving it into the storylines. I'm like, okay, like having Jensen and Holyfield, that was actually kind of brilliant, because I was like, wait, what's going on? Because I think I said last time when she had a thing, I was like, is she going after the entire roster, men and female? Because usually you don't see that when you have like your vignettes. It's like, okay, you're dealing with either one division or like a particular person in that division, not like the roster as a whole, like you said, with the Watcher vibes, like she sees all. So I'm like, I like that. Hopefully she is in the next set of tapings that I guess we're about to get to soon. So yeah, I haven't personally seen her wrestle. I've just heard about her and seen the aura. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing her, like, even appearing in person without even wrestling, just appearing on the show. I would take that.
Yeah, it's one of those things I've been thinking about, like trying to go online and see some of her matches just to see what she was like. And then to see when she comes in, like if they tweak, if they twist, or how they change, or if they keep the same. So something that'll be kind of be interesting when she makes her appearance, to hear what everybody's saying, like how she is there compared to how she is here.
Yeah, I think I'm the opposite. That's the reason why I haven't looked her up and everything, because it's like I've heard so much like kind of word of mouth already. I'm like, you know what? I kind of just want to see what it looks like and everything, instead of me, oh, let me look at your old stuff or whatever the case may be. So I'm like, I just want to come in like fresh, like, oh my God. Like, so that's how I'm approaching it. And I know I've said this twice already, but we had another segment right after this. And this one was actually really good. It was Sam Holloway cutting a promo, which I think is the most I've ever heard him speak at one time. I've heard him talk before, but he actually cut a promo on basically CJ Valor. So I guess we'll start again with Shauna. Because we know we got some CJ Valor fans in the program.
Yes.
So what did you think about this promo?
We love CJ. I love him to death. He is the best. So I loved it. I thought it was really unique to finally hear from Sam, because I had said this earlier on the podcast. With the Mog Squad, they are working as a cohesive unit at the moment. They are together. They're in a cohesive unit. At some point, something's going to happen and they're going to disintegrate. However, ID 1.0 really doesn't have that. They're just there. They're coming in. They don't have anybody like, Cap could say he's the leader if he wanted to, but they're really not working as a cohesive group. So to hear Sam step up and say, "Hey, I want to be this leader to get us together so we can be a unit against the Mog Squad," I think is really good. And I said earlier too, I think this match could go either way. One, the Mog Squad, because they are a cohesive unit, could come in and CJ could easily win to give them, elevate them up a little bit more. And then also on the other hand, you could have Sam saying, "Hey, if you would have let me lead and take hold instead of us just going out and doing our thing and coming up with a plan, we could have won." But then on the other hand, if you have Sam stepping up saying, "Hey, I'm going to be the leader," and they follow behind him, Sam could end up winning over CJ and be like, "Hey, here we go. Cohesiveness. This is what happens when we work together." And if we start to see those more of that heel turn potentially for Cap that's kind of being teased, could that turn Cap against Sam because now Sam's taking over that leadership? So I think that match next week could go either way. And I think Sam's promo set up some really interesting dynamics within the 1.0 squad.
Invisible Man.
I called Holloway versus CJ Valor Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla because it makes sense. They're both insanely powerful. Shauna had like 3 other hands, so you have 3 hands in the table right now, and that's fine. I will say, I hope CJ Valor wins because again, Holloway can win this outright, but again, she just said it herself. The Mob Squad's going to be out there. There is no security stopping them anymore. It's all hell. Freaking cats and dogs, like she says all the time. I have some breaking news, EOD. When we get to Thatcher's announcement, tell me, okay?
Okay. All right. And for me, I said this before they had their 3-on-3 match. I want to see some, which we have been seeing, some dissent with the 1.0 guys and everything. Right now, we don't really have a real leader, as Sam was talking about, and the fact that Sam is right. There's some infighting going on, and I think that's going to lead to maybe the Marcus Mazars Cappuccino match because Mazars still not letting that slide. He is still not letting it slide, and I'm glad for that and everything. So I'm glad that he's acknowledging. It's like sometimes brothers fight, and why he was cutting this promo, I don't know why. I know he played football. I'm like, that's a big dude. I'm just thinking, that dude used to play football. He's big compared to football player. That's what I was thinking of. I'm like, this dude's a monster. But he cut a really good promo, passionate promo, babyface promo. Because I think the last time I really heard him talk, he was a heel before he had the beard. I think he went against maybe Cap. It might have been, I don't know if it was him and Scout. I don't remember. I just remember it was like a way back way in a machine. But yeah, and like Shauna said, it could go either way. And either way makes sense. Like Mod Squad wins because they are cohesive. Sam Holloway is big by himself, and he almost took out. Well, he didn't almost take out, but he had a really good show and gets all 3 of them when they all was in that 6-man tag and was 3-on-1. He really held his own. So it's like, okay, if they can have a plan, they can be cohesive, then maybe they can win. Or like you said, even if he does win, be like, look, just follow me, and I can see Cappuccino Jones maybe getting upset because he probably feels like he's the leader and have even more dissension going on with the group. So I do like the branching storyline aspect of this whole thing, and I really can't call it because even though Holloway is a much bigger person, Valor is very powerful. So they will actually probably even each other out. Kind of like when he had the Dorian Van Dukes Holloway match. It's like this height it's not always about the height and everything. And Valor to me is kind of like a Dorian Van Dukes character. So it should be a good match. And it's too early for me to call right now. Come back to me later on in the episode and maybe I'll think about it a little bit more. So, whew. To say all that, and now, ladies and gentlemen, we actually have another match to talk about because I know we've been talking about a lot of we had a lot of backstage stuff going on, but we have our match with Kel Dixon and Associate versus Ed Scal. So I'm pretty sure the Visible Man might want to do the play-by-play for this. Visible Man, Ed Scal, Kel Dixon. What do you think?
Now, The religious thing in the background is probably the after effect of me using witchcraft to make sure it's Gaul won. But either way, it doesn't matter. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I know. Make Sean laugh. I like that.
I love it.
This is a back. I know. That came out of the cup. This is a back and forth match. It's Gaul was doing a Hurricane Rana, going back and forth. Kale Dixon has a weird style. Wasn't really not talk about that. Kind of like Shawn Michaels ish. Doesn't really matter. The assistant, whose name by Gianna Capri from the Capri Show is called Alex Brooks, pops on the apron, tries to out hot It's Gaul. It's Gaul's like, I'm hotter than you, so I don't really care about your ass. But gets chop blocked. KO Dixon the pound and the ground and pound for a while. She goes to the second rope, tries to jump off it to do a splash, misses. It's Gaul fires up, takes off his elbow pads, fires up, does the enziguri, does the dummy drop, which is a gut buster for the 1, 2, 3. This is not It's Gaul's longest match, EOD, but it's Gaul's second match of the win. After you. Take it away.
All right. Yeah, for me, this match, I couldn't believe it. It's like the longer the match is, it was weird for me because the longer the match went on, the more I was like, he can actually win this match. And then I'm like, they're gonna take the victory out of my hands or whatever, and just end up him losing after having this good showing. But I do think the right person won. It's about time that It's Gaul won, and doing over Kel Dixon, you could actually have a little feud about it because now he could be upset and blah blah blah. You could do this a couple different ways. The manager, I didn't realize the manager has a name now. I'm just gonna call him Miss Brooks for right now. I think he said Alex Brooks was her name, I believe. So yeah, I was just like, I was so shocked. And since I've seen him actually win matches before, like outside of Evolve, I'm like, wait a minute. I think he's setting him up for his finisher. Is he gonna do it? Is he gonna do it? I just thought something was gonna happen. But the funniest part for the whole match to me was when Brooks tried to use her, I guess, sex appeal on It's Gaul, but It's Gaul is immune because when you're he's in minty condition, I guess. He's immune to it. He's his own guy or whatever. He hypes himself up, so no one else could do it more than he can. I just thought it was so funny. But I thought he was gonna lose right then and there. I'm like, no, you got the offense, you're controlling the match, and now you're distracted again, and you're posing off in front of her. And when Dixon did the little chop block, I was like, oh man, he's gonna roll him up and pin him. But luckily, match went on for a while. So I am glad that my guy, It's Gaul, has a match this calendar year that he's won on Evolve, and I can sleep easy at night. Shauna, what did you think about this match?
So I went into the match very nervous because I was like, this is Kale Dixon's quote unquote debut match. We know how debut matches go. They're who's going to win. And we, had seen It's Gaul looking in the reflection pond, hopeful. And I was like, please may he win. Hopefully he will get his win, but we know how this is going to turn out. When the match started and he came out, and the crowd was chanting for him. They were chanting It's Gaul, and they were cheering him the whole entire time. I was like, he's officially a baby face. We can say it now. He is officially a baby face. The crowd loves him. Everybody is behind him. And I was like, it would be so bittersweet if he won and he's not going to win. And then he won, and I cheered very loudly. And got very excited and very happy. I just loved his face when he has his hands on his head and he's just like, what? I did like some of the commentary that we heard when they're like, maybe if he's not posing and and concentrating, he can win. So I thought that was funny, but I think this is well-deserved for It's Gaul. It's about time he got a win. I think, like I said, I think his babyface turn is sealed. The crowd's behind him. I think he's, the love. And my husband even said it, a lot of the people on Evolve are working on developing the characters. He's one that actually has a full, solid in-state character, 100%. So props to him for being, out there and rocking it 100%. And I think now that he's got this win, we can't go through another losing streak with him. So he's got to hopefully keep the momentum going. But this, to me, highlight of the night, 100%. And still super excited for him. And I think it's going to be interesting to see if they continue the storyline between him and Kale going forward, or what we see him come out next, because now he's got the motivation that he can win. So will he bring the Mint Condition Open Challenge back? Will he keep going? So I think it's going to be a blast with Itzgal now that he's officially a face and what he's going to do.
Yeah, I have to agree with all that. And all right, it seems like when people do go up to NXT, we have like a little like specter. Like you got Vanity Project went up. Now we got the Mog Squad. And Max Abrams looked like he was going to be a part of the Vanity Project at one point in time. He was kind of palling up with them. And to me, Dixon looks like he's the new Itzgal. He was doing the same showboating. Well, not the exact same, but he was showboating just as much as Itzgal was showboating during this match. That's what it was like, whoa, wait a minute, hold up. Why is he doing these poses or like posing or doing something or talking to the crowd? It's like, oh, him and Itzgal are very similar. And hopefully I do kind of want a feud between the two of them, but I do want Itzgal to triumph it. And hopefully, even though I like Itzgal, hopefully we're not going to see Itzgal on Evolve for too much longer. Maybe hopefully before the end of the year he's not on Evolve anymore, because that means you've graduated to NXT, and that's what I hope for Itzgal. And Dixon can take his place on Evolve and everything.
And
but I do kind of like. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say he's been doing dark matches for NXT, so
yeah. So that's always a good sign and everything. He's still doing the in-person, but he's doing dark matches on NXT finally. For a little bit, I even saw him doing security. It was so weird because I'm so used to the glasses. So when he didn't have the glasses, looking like a normal person, I was like, wait a minute, is that Gal? I'm like, oh yeah, it's him in security. So yeah, I was super excited for him to win. I couldn't believe it. I think the Invisible Man saw my live stream and my face on it. I was just like, almost holding my breath when I saw him get ready to go for his finisher. I'm like, oh, this could be it. This could be it. I'm like, 1, 2. I thought something was going to happen, but he ended up winning. And finally, and he looked so surprised, and the whole crowd was behind. And I like the fact that the crowd was really into it also. They really wanted him to win. That was like the best part. So, yeah. So that made my night. Because I really didn't think, I was like, look, they've teased me too many times with a win. I'm like, look, I can't believe it until I actually see it. At 2, it says 3, and the hands are raised. That's what I can believe. So now I can say Itzgal can win, and now hopefully he goes on a little winning streak. And I guess before we, because we talked about Kai Kavari earlier, because Dixon did face Cal Kavari in like his like kind of first match kind of deal. So I want to wish again Kai Kavari happy trails again, because I was rooting for you. I thought you had a good match. That was a good match with Kel Dixon and Kavari and everything. So if you ever come back to wrestling again, if you want, like, hey, we're rooting for you if you do. If not, hopefully everything works out for you. But all right, let's go to the next thing, and I can already guarantee it's gonna be a segment. Hold on, what was it? Oh, that's what it was. It was the promo. We got a Shido Ash and Victor promo, and that's what that was. So we'll just go ahead and we'll get Shauna's thoughts on that.
It was just literally like, hey, hi, here we are. This is who we are. And we're like, we know who you are. Like, and I'll still say it till whenever. They should not have had they should still just be causing chaos now. So this was just basically them saying, hi, this is who we are. We're here. We're going to go terrorize people. Yeah, we know that. Like, it wasn't anything great. It wasn't anything spectacular. We kind of had already gotten that promo with them before, so it just kind of felt like a rehash. It wasn't anything great or special. Maybe it could have been them instead like challenging someone to be like, hey, we're here, we won here, now we've got our sights set on here. It just was kind of just one of those, hi, here's who we are, here's how we're together, let's go. It wasn't anything, I thought, anything special.
Can I jump
Yeah, I was about to call
in real quick on this before EOD. This was, thinking about it now, Gabe, you're kind of like being dumb in this. Nothing, there's no disrespect to you, sir. They got fired from security. Why are you giving them money for vignettes? Why? Why don't they just find hey, camera guy, come here for a second. Give me that fucking camera. Do it like that, guerrilla style. Why are you like, oh, we got vignettes. We used to hate. I don't give a shit if you guys hated each other. I don't care. You guys are hijacking things because you want to be noticed, to the point that Thatcher has to bring in people, mercenaries, to stop you. Why can't you do it like that? You guys have been fired from security, but yet the company's like, well, we'll give you a job. What? That's all I got to say about that.
All right. For me, the way I thought this promo was, I thought this promo could have been fine. It felt this is what this promo felt like. Okay, if they would have did everything that Shauna said, raising hell, blah blah blah, then do this promo as in okay, now we're here, I think it could have worked. Because this is basically almost like a promo for people you haven't seen yet. That you haven't seen yet, and you'll say, oh, like we're arriving soon, because I don't like to do the Vera Mahar thing that it's coming, because that's kind of. But the like we're gonna arrive soon on Evolve, blah blah blah. That's what this promo felt like, except that you've been here. You already had matches, so it's like it was like okay, learn about them, like you said. Okay, I didn't know they didn't like each other because I couldn't tell based on their interactions before. Like so, it's like all right, whatever. So I just think the promo. I think they should have did what Shauna was saying. Raise hell, or even combine it with what Alex was saying. Raise hell, blah blah blah. Oh, you want to cut a promo? Hey, pull a Grayson Waller, just grab the mic or grab the cameraman, cut your promo, blah blah blah. Then once all that's said and done, when they have no choice but to put you on the roster, then you could have done that particular promo. Like, oh, we're finally here. We did all this stuff to get here, blah blah blah. They ought to give us a chance. We just had to take it by force, this opportunity, something like that. So, yeah, the promo was all right and everything. It just, I don't know. I think they dropped the ball on it. Just the order of the promo itself was okay, but not in relation to the story and what we've seen from these guys before. If we didn't see them at all before, this promo would have been fine. It's like, okay, yeah, they're going to arrive on Evolve soon. That's what it felt like to me. So, that's just my 2 cents on that. So, but where's Coach? Oh yeah, Coach. I think Coach changed his schedule, his new working schedule, because of what I'm about to talk about right now. We had but also Alex is probably happy about this because we had an interview segment. We had Rizzo though. We still know Trio Martinez. I don't know if he's still on Evolve or not. I believe he's still with the company. But
I'm gonna watch for him this weekend.
Yeah, actually, SummerSlam, he will probably be out there at SummerSlam. But we have Rizzo talking to Jensen.
Shauna, wait, Shauna, if you see him, just say this sentence. Alex Coquito sent you away. Remember that.
I will.
Okay.
I have like a few people I'm keeping my eye out for to try to interview. Like I'm gonna bombard people. Like I'm gonna be one of those, hey, do you watch Evolve? Like, why don't you watch? Like I'm gonna try to break out of my normal like content zone and try to be out there. Gonna try. See if my introvert will let me do it. But I've got some plans for bringing up Evolve on the street.
Yeah.
And in the takeover.
I always have an excuse to like, well, I don't have anybody to hold my camera. So, because I want to do interviews, but I was like, I don't feel like bothering them and everything.
I make my husband do it. So. And then I'm like, is your thumb in the photo? Because I have a picture with Simon Miller and I had to crop it because his thumb was in the photo.
Oh.
Like, dude, come on. So now I'm like, is your thumb in the picture? Anytime I do it, like when I did those Beyond interviews, I was like, is your thumb in the photo? Make sure your thumb's out of the way because I'm not.
So, yeah, I like Simon Miller. All right, so we got Brooks Jensen talking about whatever because that wasn't the best part at all. Like I don't even remember what Brooks was talking about. I guess we got Bam Bams. Now that's a thing. If you're a Brooks Jensen coach, you're a Bam Bam. That's what you are. You're a closet Bam Bam. You're a closet Brooks Jensen fan. So he's cutting the promo. Rizzo was basically saying, you surprisingly you beat Elijah Holyfield twice. But you cheated. So that makes you a cheater. That makes you a cheater. He's like, hey. He said, no, as my mom, I forgot. He said something that was kind of cool. Let me see if I can find it real quick. Something that his mom says about allegations or something like that. I don't know.
No, he says
it was kind of
that's
go ahead.
Just hearsay.
Oh, just hearsay, yeah.
He says this. That's just hearsay. And you know what? For the name Holyfield, he's just a Nepo baby. He needs to go back to his Nepo daddy and where. Oh my God! And he runs away. But before that, he says, I hail from Alabama, Bama, and my Bam is behind me. I'm like, you son of a bitch. Check out the Evolve effect. Shauna's face was like so disgusted. I watched back and I'm like, motherfucker. I'm like, that's the face that she makes. But that's all I gotta say. But also, Elijah Holyfield came in. Jensen ran away. Elijah Holyfield knocked out a motherfucker. And at the end of the segment, one of the security guards was holding the knocked out guy's head like a baby.
That was fun.
That was
Yeah,
fun.
You know what
he
it
was
is?
knocked out.
Brooks Jensen is
Wait a minute, was that Cardi?
I know. She started to talk and then we lost her.
Sorry. Here we go. Cardi,
we can
Cardi,
hear
I didn't hear you. Say that again.
no, I said I said he's been really leaning into the sleazeball character.
Yes. Ironically, wearing good pants and same shoes. This time, they heard Chana.
He
Sounds
ran,
like-
he ran way too fast.
He
Maybe-
was already
maybe
gone.
that's
The
his,
Flash.
Maybe that's his.
The Flash couldn't even tie his shoes. It's like,
He
what
has
the
the
fuck?
ring gear that's all
Ding
messed
dong
up,
dish
but his
right there.
casual wear is
Yeah.
a little bit different. But I did.
It's a little different,
I'm
Go on, dude.
for Coach. I actually did like this. I did like this. It's like he's really that whole '80s thing. He's really leading into it. The way he just cut the promo was like just straight out the '80s. Like that's just what it reminded me of. So I'm like, hey, he's leaning into the gimmick, even though Elijah Holyfield says it's lame. But I liked it. And the hearsay, I didn't even know where that was going. He said, "Oh, my mom used to say, oh, that's hearsay." I'm like, what does that even mean? But yeah, the fact when Elijah finally, like, he was talking about Elijah, and Elijah, like, hey, showed up like a man. And Brooks Jensen saw him, was like, gotta go. And was gone. And it was like, you could not find this man. They were like, he is gone. You couldn't find him. Then he knocked the security guard. And I'm like, and that security guard stayed knocked out. It was so funny because, like you said, there was like four of them. One of them was holding, like, cradling him, like, trying to bring him back to life.
His eyes was
Just
the
so-
back of his head, EOD. I've seen it 3 times. That
Just
motherfucker
showed
was
just how
glassed
powerful-
out.
Just showing how powerful that hit was. So I really liked it. Even though Thatcher, something should happen to Elijah for knocking out one of your security guards like that. Just for like at least or just address it like next episode. It's like something about next episode. Then you can have a fight the episode after that, possibly. That'll be fine. But you got to have some type of repercussion for knocking out security like that. Knock this man out cold. And he didn't have to talk about that man's family like that. It's like the second reference to the family because the unknown said it earlier because, you know, the family name, blah, blah, and he's on a losing streak. So I was like, I liked it. It was fine. And I like Rizzo. And I know Rizzo Man likes this interview style a lot better than the old one.
I do. Also, Cardian brought this up too. Oh, you like when Jensen said, "Oh, you're a nepo baby," and Cardi said, "Well, you're a nepo baby too. What? Who are you talking to?"
Look in the mirror, Jensen.
Look in the mirror, Jensen. That's what you said. Look in the mirror, Jensen. What are you talking about?
Yes.
But
for those
Rizzo
of you
was
who do
really
not
cool.
know. Oh, go ahead.
Go on.
I was gonna say
Go
for
on.
those of you who don't know that's watching the show, Brooks Jensen is actually Bull Buchanan's son. If y'all don't remember who Bull Buchanan
Yes.
was, he used to run with John Cena back in the day when John Cena was first starting to get like his character off the ground and everything. He was his running mate. So that's who his dad.
Second generation. So yeah, they're both in the same exact boat.
Yeah.
But I liked Rizzo's like, hey, you won twice, but you cheated twice. So what do you say about that, cheater? And I love that she's a woman like a woman announcer, and most like old school wrestling people won't really like address her. They'll just say something like disparaging. Oh, my mother calls it hearsay. With Chewy, they would say something to Chewy like, "Oh yeah, brother, don't be like no, Chewy, shut the fuck up." You know how Rizzo did it perfectly? Because she did it perfectly, one time. And for Jensen, I love this. I said this to Shauna. They can do a lumberjack match. Elijah knocks out everybody. They can do a bull rope on a pole match. Like it's Thatcher. If you're hearing this, or Gabe Sapolsky, if in a pinch there's chaos in the ring and you want someone to knock everybody out, give Elijah Holyfield a title shot. He'll knock everybody out with a smile. So I'll put that out to Gabe. If you do that, you owe me. That's all I gotta say.
All right, so I think we got everybody's thoughts on this, did we, on the segment? Because I guess we might as well just stay with Alex now, because I think whatever he wanted to do is about to happen next. I'm guessing Thatcher's announcement?
Yes. Now,
Okay.
Thatcher has announced the 4 people in the Fatal 4-Way for next week. which is Lewis, Rourke, Tristan, and Max Abrams. All credible, all deserving of the title. I just found out from False Finish and falsefinish.com on Twitter, and I have it right here. Let me see if I can find the picture of it. Give me a sec. There we go. False Finish has learned that Cutler James will be competing in an Evolve Championship #1 contenders match in the near future on WWE Evolve. So after this, there'll be another one, another #1 contendership match, probably in the second set of tapings. So Gabe Sapolsky, someone ratted you out.
It'll be interesting to
Wasn't
know
me.
if it's going to be another fatal four-way or if it's going to be a singles.
No, he's just going to compete in a #1 contendership match. So we got to figure out, is it going to be like tournament style? Is it going to be battle royal style? We don't know. So I want to put that out there. So you take it away.
Okay, so actually, we'll start with Sean what she thinks about this, and I'll go last.
So I will say, knowing the segment we just had beforehand, and then Thatcher's like, I'm going to make an announcement. I was like, here's the bull rope match. Like, literally, that's what came out of my mouth. I just went, and bull rope match. And then he didn't go to that. I was like, oh, okay, I was wrong. But I was like, this is how we're segueing into this. But I think it's going to be really good. I said earlier, looking at the 4 people in the match, the one I can count out is Tristan. Because Tristan's got that thing going on NXT with Shiloh. I think pretty soon we're going to see Tristan 100% on NXT. So I was like, the only one of the 3 that I could not see winning is Tristan. Harlem, I could see, retaining. I don't think they're going to take the title off of him this soon, because if they're working on rebuilding his character, and who he is moving forward, I don't think we're going to see that happen. Max potential to win, and Aaron as well. We, to see Aaron's final evolution, maybe we'll see heel Aaron. We'll see the evil gay character come out a little bit. But I really think Harlem, like thinking about it from earlier today to that, I do think Harlem is going to retain. But it could really get, the only one that I think is not is Tristan, like 100%. That's the only one I can say is not winning, but more likely 75%, 80% Harlem's retaining, and split that 25% between Aaron and Max and take Tristan out of the equation. If anything, Tristan eats the pin.
Okay. For me, I don't know why. I was a little bit surprised even hearing the match was going to take place next week. We knew it was going to happen. I just assumed, okay, since they have the 2 sets of tapings, that we're going to build the storyline all the way to the very end of the taping. And this will happen either the second to last of those tapings or the very last taping. We'll get this fatal 4-way. But I guess they have other plans in mind. So I'm not mad at it. And I'm actually looking forward to the fatal 4-way. I don't know why this particular storyline kind of warrants all these guys in one spot together. And I've always said, they usually, for the men, they usually don't have the championship multi-man matches for a while. Like for they used to do it, and then for a good while they didn't. So it's like, it's fine. I know they had the 3-way match, but like I always say, Harlan Lewis was in that match, so it didn't count. Because at that point, he was trying to get that championship match for months at that point. So to make a triple threat, we knew how that was going to play out and everything for those purposes. But I do agree with you. I don't think Harlem's going to lose the belt. If he was to lose the belt to anyone in there, I can see Max Abrams sneaking a win out. But you're right. I don't see Tristan Angels doing it. And for some reason, for Aaron Rourke, I just think they got something else planned for him and everything. It just feels like, because right now, the way he was the champion, he kind of doesn't even need the belt and everything. He kind of established how he was a good champion, blah, blah. I think the only thing they would probably do now is do the evil character. See if he could do that here. So introduce that on Evolve. Kind of the way they did, I know it's going to sound weird, how they did Braun Breaker. Before Braun Breaker was called up, they made sure Braun Breaker could do each thing. He could be a face, heel, and do comedy. Because the what was it, the Wolf Dogs, that was some good stuff and everything with him and Baron Corbin. And I always thought he was he just looks like a heel. He doesn't look like a baby face, but that's the role they put him in. He's fine at that. Did the heel. So I think they're going to do that with Aaron Rourke before they goes up to NXT. It's like, okay, let's see this heel character. kind of like we're getting with. I think Cappuccino's been talking about too. I think he's even called himself Dark Roast now. I think I saw that on social media. I think either today or yesterday. So I was like, wait,
Yeah, he's been
what?
like dark roast brewing or like dark
Yeah,
like something like that. I've seen it a lot in his posts. Like he'll have like dark roast
yeah,
Son of a bitch.
brewing and stuff like that. He'll have that a lot.
yeah. I was like, wait, Dark
You
Roast?
better give
I
us
think he
that
actually-
acknowledgement, Cappuccino Jones. We made that for you, bro. Are we
I
doing
think he
that?
actually
Oh,
addressed
Dark Roast.
Gabe in one of the posts that I saw talking about Dark Roast. I was like, oh, okay, I like that. But yeah, I do think that's what's gonna happen. I do think Harlem is gonna retain, especially now. If I didn't know what you were talking about the Cutler James situation, now it makes me even further think that Harlem is gonna retain it. And because I don't think Evolve is just gonna give a one and done title shot. I don't think that's gonna happen with Evolve. Just the way how it's filmed and everything like that. They could, but I don't think they're gonna do it. I think they're kind of more like AEW first year, where you get the championship, you're gonna have the championship for a little bit or whatever. We're not gonna have too many changes in this stuff or like multiple time champions and stuff like that. So I think Harlem's gonna win because of that. And I will give a shout out to Thatcher. Wasn't his office looking a little bit different? Didn't it look a little brighter or colorful?
Yeah,
Just a promo?
when I did talk to him at that event, and I'm going to try to interview him again, I asked him about his office, and he said that's one of his favorite things he likes to do is like tweak it up, add different things, and do different stuff with it. So that is something he does like to do is have fun with his office.
Okay, yeah, because I saw like, wait, I was like, hey, his office. He did a little stone redecoration. It's like, I'm like, I liked it. I liked it a lot. So I believe that's it. I believe the only thing that's left to say is it's time for the main event. We have the ladies. Go wait.
Hold up, EOD.
Yeah.
1 second. Me and Cardi M had to do a time reference. It was exactly the moment when Aaron Rourke won the belt and Max Abrams accidentally dropped it on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
That, ladies and gentlemen, we're doing this for copyright reasons, just in case someone said we didn't make this shit. That's the moment when we start calling him Dark Roast Jones. We'll put that out there. If you think about it, right there when we said there are two people looking at that belt.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah, I
Max
remember that.
Abrams and it was Cappuccino Jones. And at the week after that, he was acting a little shady, and that's why we called him Dark Roast
Yeah, I was
Jones.
trying to
That's
figure it
what I
out
said,
because it
Dark
was
Roast,
like
yeah, it's
months ago.
All right.
Yeah, 'cause
Cappuccino
I knew it was
just
around that
apologized,
time, but yeah,
Tag us.
yeah, they would say that for like a long time about Dark Roast, Dark
Yeah.
Roast Jones.
I wanted to make sure. there's a time reference. All right, EOD, take it away.
All right, so now we got our main event and everything that's been brewing for this entire episode. You'll see what I did there. But anyway, we what was the team? Nikita Lyons, PJ Vasa, Capri, and Stone Jacobs versus Skylar Ray, Ren Sinclair, Thea Hell, and did I say Zena Sterling? What I'm thinking about? Did I say Zena Sterling? Right. Zena, Thea, Ren, and Skylar. It's the blonde thing that's throwing me off.
I know.
That's what it shows. I'm like, wait, did I say the other one yet? So okay, so that's that was our main event. And Stone Jacobs doing her best Paul Heyman impersonation, because this is a thing now. She really does talk Nikita into the ring, which is fine. I don't know who came up with that, but I'm here for it. All right, let's see. Alex, you going to take us through the play-by-play?
Play-by-play in a shorter version. Match started with Skylar and I think it was Gianna. Gianna did do the 90-degree stretch leg thing again. Thea Hale tried to run into PJ Vasa and bounced off her twice, which is the dumb thing that Thea Hale did. Ren Sinclair did absolutely nothing in this whole match except run away with Slow Jacobs in the back. Thea Hale was a wild animal fighting everybody. Skylar jumped off to the outside. Zena Sterling jumped out to the outside. Nikita and Sloan are a great tag team together. PJ Vasa was destroying people. In the end, after Ren, who did nothing, went to Sloan Jacobs and went to the outside and disappeared. Mrs. Thea Hale went to do an arm bar. Nikita countered, tried to do a black mass. She ducked, jumped on it again, got it locked in. Nikita tapped, and for the first time ever in the history of Evolve, a champion tapped out to a random person. And Thea Hale is next up. So I did like that. Also, Brent Sinclair did nothing. Why? Okay.
All right. Well, since you're here, we'll get to you. What did you think of the match?
Okay. It was a great match. It was fast. They had 10 minutes. They're like, we're giving you 10 minutes. Put your shit in. I did like that. I did like how Thea was really crazy. Skylar was Skylar is like Aaron Work. She does a lot of cartwheels like Aaron Work. I'm like, oh shit, that's like Aaron Work. That's pretty cool. Gianna going in there and just like and all that, just being aggressive. I like that. By the way, ladies and gentlemen, someone appeared and disappeared like a Saiyan. I wonder who it is.
On your own, where did she come from? Where did she come from?
That was funny. And then even the commentators are like, where'd she come from? Like, yeah, where did she come from? And she did the Kamehameha and then distracted Gianna. The other part that I wanted to say, the fact that Sloane Jacobs almost did a luva kick to Nikita's face. And Nikita's face, ladies and gentlemen, right here is priceless.
Charge back in. Skylar able to get out. She has a clear path to the corner. Yeah, but it's not. It's easier.
All right, yeah, that was wild. I'll go because I see Shauna. I'll get.
Yeah, go on.
I do my
Yeah, I was writing a note.
Yeah, for me, this match was really, for me, hard to keep track of. It was super fast. I did like when Thea Hale did jump on the PJ Vaza, like me jumping into the Incredible Hulk or whatever. Just bounced right off. No effect. Like PJ didn't even move. She just bounced off of her, and I just thought it was so funny. I'm like, the fact that Thea is like a former, as they mentioned it, former North American champion. She just decided to jump on somebody from Evolve to no effect whatsoever. She just bounced. I just thought it was super funny. And you're right. Until you started talking about, like, yeah, Ren didn't really do a whole lot in this match. I did like when Anya Rune comes out. I just like Anya Rune. I like the whole character, the gimmick. At some point, I don't care if they make it into a dream sequence or whatever. She's got to get one of those moves off. I want to see the whole special effects to it. I want to see all of it. Just one time Evolve. Get to me one time, and then maybe she wakes up. It's like, oh, it didn't really happen, but I need to see that. I was surprised, though, at the ending of the match, though. Not so much that she tapped, like the way she tapped. She tapped like her life depending on it out of that Kimura. And I did like the fact that, because based on Evolve rules, you beat the champion, you get a shot at the champion. She's like, that doesn't count because really it doesn't count. It's like it counts, but it doesn't count at the same time. She didn't lose her championship over it. So she's like, no, it doesn't count. But because she did pin, well, she didn't just pin her, she made her tap out. That means she's going to be the next one to get a shot at the title. So it's like, okay, yeah, you did that, blah, blah, blah. But Sloane almost giving her a Halua kick in the corner. Looked like she just offended Nikita Lyons. Her face, she was so offended at the whole idea of it. She was just like, I just loved the reaction to it. She oversold it. I loved it. I still don't know about this run though, with her title, because it doesn't feel like she's really having a title run. It just feels like they're just throwing a lot of stuff at her, because we haven't really settled on. Looks like we're about to settle on a Thea Hale thing. They did mention Wendy Chu again. They did say, "Where's Wendy?" So Wendy's gonna come back at some point. This is the second week. They don't, especially if you're not gonna be there like that anymore. They're not gonna mention you. Maybe once, but not twice like that. It's like, oh, where's Wendy? Like, oh, she could have been the person that could have filled in, but no one knows where she's at. They mentioned no one's seen her since she's lost that match. So it's like, okay, so Wendy Chu's looming, almost to the point where I'm wondering if did these tapings and the TNA tapings happen like roughly around the same time? The way I'm looking at it now is like maybe she was off doing that, and that's why she couldn't be here for this. I don't know. But anyway, overall, I thought it was a good match. Not the best 8-woman match that they've had on Evolve, but it told the story. It got pieces moving. We got Anya Rune continue her feud with Capri without even touching each other, which is pretty cool. Kind of reminds me of almost like CM Punk and Drew McIntyre to a lesser degree. Don't say I'm comparing them to Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. I'm just saying the fact they're carrying the storyline without actually really attacking each other. I do like that. Ren, I don't know why Ren Sinclair was there. Like, to be honest, I don't know. Even though I like Ren, but I don't know. That's why I have a theory. I don't know this to be fact, but it's like, was this film the same time all the other tapes were filmed, or was there an audible call because maybe Layla Diggs was supposed to originally be in this match? That I don't know. To me, it's like
Thank you for bringing that up. It's kind of a weird coincidence that think about it this way. Layla Diggs says 2 weeks ago, "I'm coming after you, Nikita." 2 weeks later, we don't see her. In NXT, she's supposed to be in the group with Natalia. Nope. They're just calling each other the Dungeon Dolls, 3 Blondes. I feel that Gabe had, like you said, had to pull an audible, like, look, she's hurt. We don't know how long she's going to be hurt. So we're just going to take her off the board for now until later, which is fine.
Yeah.
I respect that. That means she's an asset to come back stronger when she comes back. That's all I wanted to say. Thank you for bringing that up, Yogi.
Yeah, and that's the reason why we had the segment with her last week while she was sitting back there, because I'm thinking, okay, this might have been that, whatever they filmed it. I don't know, this is me speculating, was after she got hurt. So, okay, we'll take this thing off of her. We'll just have her, like, just chilling and everything, so we can kind of continue the storyline, so it can kind of make some type of sense or whatever. We introduced because Zena Sterling kind of came out of nowhere in that segment, and now we got, so it's like, okay, we can do some things to kind of fix some things and everything. So I did like that, because to me, like, her calling out she wants a title shot, but she hasn't been involved in any of the wrestling at all, or even the jumping segments at all, like, leads me to believe that some of this stuff get refilmed, maybe. Kind of like what they did with Chantel Monroe for a while when she got hurt, how they kind of had to edit her out of one of the scenes so we wouldn't have to, like, worry about her and everything, which hopefully she'll be coming back soon. But Shauna, I know I was rambling for a little bit, but Shauna, what did you think about this 8-woman tag match?
I really liked it. I think we got a lot of setup there. Was continuing with the Gianna Anya thing. I love Gianna's face. She's like, I got to do this thing. Why am I dealing with this thing? Like, I need to focus here. What is happening? Like, what? Why is this happening to me? What is going on? So, just her facial expressions through the whole thing was amazing. And I hope they get in the ring soon. Something. We got to get, like, this storyline's going on. I just want to see them in the ring at some point, somehow there. The whole Nikita almost getting kicked by Sloan was great. I also really was hopeful to see Dad Thea, because if you follow Thea online, she's got her crazy character. Of course, we see her in the ring on NXT, but then online she has her dad character, which is always like drinking beer, collecting koozies, doing all this stuff. And I love that. And last week when she showed up and chugged the beer and then ran out, I was like, we're getting Dad Thea. And we didn't. So I was kind of sad by that. So I was kind of hoping to see her. I've said it a gazillion times. Don't want to see Nikita lose the title. However, if she would lose the title to Thea, I'm not going to be very upset, because I still feel like Thea needs a redemption from everything that happened with that North American Championship, that everybody kind of still harps on what happened, all of, everything that happened in the ring. If you hadn't seen the match, look it up. It was her and Blake Monroe around Christmas time. So to me, I feel like if Thea gets it, I'm not going to be so upset that Nikita lost it, because I think Thea needs a title. That's why I thought she was going to win the speed belt to kind of redeem herself with that. I'm also interested to see in the wibbly wobbly timey wimey between NXT and Evolve, how everything plays out with Thea and Nikita, because next week Thea and Jada have that match against Natty and Nikita. So it's going to be really interesting to see how all of that plays out. So I think this match set up a lot of storylines moving forward. We still see PJ Vasa. I think we're going to see Wendy Chu pop up somehow, somewhere. She's going to come back and just be like, I'm here. I want my rematch. It's on. But I think this match did a great job on setting up a lot of storylines moving forward. And like I said earlier too, Ren was just there, I think, to make the fourth body, because she came out to do some chit-chatting and she was there, but she really didn't do anything. So And if they're going to start promoting Ren a little bit more, because she was on main event tonight, they need to do something besides her just coming out, being there for a second, and then taking her fight to the back.
Yeah, and I know Ren, she's got her match against Zarya next week on NXT for the Speed Championship. So if Zarya wins, she gets a Speed Championship. But if Ren wins, she gets a shot at Zarya's North American Championship. So that's going on. I doubt they're going to put Zarya on Evolve and everything just to interfere with that.
No, I just have this gut feeling they're going to try to have Zarya do what Sol did and have the
Oh,
dual championship to kind of be like, she did it, I did it,
yeah,
to
that's
continue that
mhm,
that story, like where she wants to say, I can do everything you did, but I can do it better. So
yeah.
I gut feeling, I don't know.
Yeah, and they did say this is going to be Sol's year. And right now she is kind of everywhere right now. Oh, what was I gonna say? Oh, Stone Chips. They did mention this too, which I have to go back and really watch 2.0, not like early 2.0, because they said Sloan came in with Thea Hell, and I remember Thea Hell like when 2.0 started, because the whole I can't even believe they got me with this craziness about what college she's gonna choose. I'm thinking she's legit choosing a college while she's doing something, and then she chose Chase U. I was like, y'all got me so good because I really thought she was choosing a real school. So I'm like, okay, I don't remember Sloan in 2.0 for some reason. So I'm like, I need to go back and watch that. So yeah, my thoughts on the whole thing. I do agree with you. I do think Nikita should should retain the title. If she was going to lose to anybody, I guess Thea Hell wouldn't be a bad choice to lose it to. But I do wish she has like an actual real title run, because I think Nikita needs it more than Thea needs it. Even though Thea, I don't know what the disconnect on NXT is with Thea. The fans like her and everything. We want to see more of her, but they got such a backlog, and I think it's all started. We're gonna go way back because we got plenty of time for this episode. Um, I blame Julia, I blame Stephanie Vaquer, and I blame Zarya, and to a lesser extent Jordan Grace, because at that time, instead of all the homegrown people or homegrownish people they were getting all these outside people and interjecting them into the main event picture, which kind of kept the other people that was already there that you were trying to build up down a little bit. And I think they never really got out of that backlog until like the JC Jane thing last summer. And then she ended up. Oh, I don't even think I want to even mention JC Jane too much because Alex Coquito hated that idea with a passion. What was the hashtag? Not my champion. Like I was fine with it, but I
Not
remember
my champion.
you hated. Oh man, it was for weeks. This went on, and I think eventually, I think he just had to just. Hey, I guess he's just gonna have the championship for a while. But I get what he was saying. But it's like, yeah, when all these people came, it's like, okay, you got all these people from outside the company coming in taking titles, basically. So it was like Thea was up there, Jada Parker. They were like you always can see with the women, especially with the women. There's always the top tier, then you have the next ones up. So when they leave, then you fill in the vacuum, and that kind of didn't happen. Even like right now, Jada Parker's still, even to a lesser extent, even Kalani. I would have thought Kalani, even though she's in that main event picture now, but she hasn't even had a title yet. So
And Kalani was one of the 4 NXT women that were in the Rumble this year.
yeah, and she's the first ever North American champion ever. So it's like, yeah, Kalani. In fact, the only reason why I don't think of it too bad for that is because you don't necessarily need to beat a NXT Women's Champion to have a really great main roster career. That's the only reason why I don't harp on it too much, because I really think Kalani shouldn't even be there right now. But I get it. You have to have stars and everything. I think that's the reason why Jada Parker was there, because Jada Parker, say what y'all want, she is super popular on NXT, and with all the ladies leaving, you still want people to watch the show and everything. So sometimes, almost kind of like a Bailey effect. Everybody went up, Bailey had to stay and everything. But okay, I think I'm getting a little bit too far away from Evolve now. But anyway,
It
so
happens.
we heard the rumors about Cutler James and everything, and Shauna is going to do everything in her power to muster up Saquon and its Scout.
I know, right? Now that they're there, I still want to. It was Alex's idea, and I'm going to manifest it and run with it. Like I'm going to think it'd be a great pairing because Saquon, as we saw, going a little into NXT, he was still looking for friends. You know, Romeo was like, "Let's go again," and Noam was like, "No, let's back off." But he's still looking for friends to take down Dark State. So we'll see. But I am going to also be manifesting and looking for Evolve people this weekend to get the website updated.
Yes.
And get some
ideas.
ideas.
It can't possibly be that hard. It can't be.
No, and my big thing with it is if you look at the last date, which was June 11th of 2025, the second post under that is talking about Jackson Drake winning.
Drake. Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's like we've had 2 new men's champions since then. I think we've had 2 I didn't go too far back. And if you're watching, my big thing is if you're starting to watch NXT or you are watching NXT and you're seeing all of these Evolve talent come up and they're talking about Evolve and they're on both and people go to look at Evolve to see, hey, what's this about? Who are these superstars on here that I'm seeing on NXT? And there's no updates. You're not going to get people interested in the other program to tune in to watch, to be like, hey, what's happening? What's going on? They say this person's pulling double duty. What's happening on the show? There's nothing there. And it's like, if you want to promote all of this Evolved talent on NXT and really be like, this is the future of NXT, then you have to make the product that people go to look it up, you know, as what it is. Like most of the graphics I'm getting from Instagram, from the superstars themselves,
I know.
X, you know, when they do posts, but then they really don't. You see the updates with Blake, but that's about it. And it's like, you can't, if you want to have this developmental program that's the future of NXT and these new superstars, you have to put time into the product that they're working on to get the people interested in at the start. If you want them to be interested in these superstars, you have to, if they go to look them up and about the programming, there has to be something there that's going to keep, because the people are just not going to tune in and watch. Oh, it hasn't been updated, so it must not be on anymore or something. That's just my rant.
Yeah, because we're content creators, so we're always looking for this stuff. But like, just as a fan, because I remember when Evolve first started, I want to learn something about some of these people, and it was already like, okay, WWE had a website on their page. You click on it, it just takes you to Tubi, and I'm like, I could have done that myself. It gives me no information, just that, hey, it's on such and such a night, but no roster, so you couldn't even look up anybody. Because I've been doing this with them almost since the beginning, and it took a while for me to remember the names and everything. Now I'm good at it and everything because now they're not coming at me so hard. So I was about to pull a Riggins. Let me change what I was about to say. It was really quick and everything, so I couldn't remember like everybody's name. It's like, okay, I'm gonna remember your name next week. I know who you are, I know what you look like and everything, but I can't remember your name. So it was kind of like that. Now I'm a little bit better with because I'm used to most of the people on it. But for like somebody coming in, like my sister, as a thing, she texted me during my watch along for NXT. I said, oh yeah, well I also do Evolve. So she's like, oh, cool. It's like, I haven't heard of that one yet. I'm like, oh, yeah, it comes on Tubi. So I sent her the link for Tubi. So hopefully she watches this week. And I know she's going to have a lot of questions about, like, oh, who's this, who's that? Because she watches wrestling a little bit. Not as much as I watch it, but we used to watch it with our grandma when we were younger. So it's like, okay, how you introduce somebody to the product? You want to at least, I don't know their name? Because you might remember their face. So you could go down the page. Like, oh, okay, this is this person's name, blah, blah, blah. But if you don't even have a roster page at the very least, I mean, at least give us a roster. I mean, I know they got to do the same thing with AAA because they turned their whole website into just a merchandise website now. So I'm the same way with AAA. I'm like, oh, who's this person? Who's this person? And I'm like, I can't find a roster really for everybody. So, yes, y'all got to get on the ball with the updating. Just, even if y'all don't update the website, at least update the roster. Just put the roster up just so we can know who each person is. And then tell them hey, check out content creators like the Evolve review show on Thursdays on YouTube, or the Evolve Effect.
Like I said, we have
to give this stuff.
We have our photo op on Saturday with HBK, and I told my husband, I was like, we get like 5 seconds, so you got to think what you want to say, you know, because the photos are so quick.
Yeah.
Because I asked him, I was like, did you want to do a photo? Did you want to do an autograph? And because we're flying, he's doing a photo. He doesn't want to bring the winged eagle to have him sign it because he's like, that's just too heavy and in the suitcase. Totally get it. And I'm like, okay, we'll do a photo. I was like, so you got like 5-6 seconds. I need you to think about what you want to say because you got 5 seconds with the
in and
man.
out.
And he's like, I'm going to be too starstruck. I was like, good. I'm going to ask him to have somebody update the Evolve website. I was like, you gave up your shot.
Yeah, we definitely need that, and a lot of people start to get into, especially when you talk about Evolve, what like you said, the crossover. It's like, okay, we want to, okay, well they're on both, so let's watch both of them, and that's what I was saying again with those championships. Maybe it's something with Tubi in and of itself because I'm like, WWE. The one thing WWE is going to do is promote. So it's like, for Evolve, like, unless you're watching Tubi, you don't know anything about it, really.
You can't
The
even
website's
get Evolve
there.
merchandise.
Yeah, there's no merchandise. Vanity Project didn't get their merch until they got to NXT, which was kind of criminal. I guess Peter Vaza must be selling her stuff herself. I'm guessing because she stayed with the new merch, and I'm like, man, where's she?
Yeah, we got It's Golf. My husband got his It's Golf shirt from It's Golf,
Yeah,
selling
from
it.
It's Golf,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, and I don't even understand. Not having the Evolve logo as a t-shirt. I looked it up and it was all the Evolution shirts, and I was like, I got those when I went. I don't need those.
Mhm.
I need the Evolve shirt. And I'm like, you mean to tell me you're not going to put just $24.99 and slap it on a t-shirt and sell it?
Yeah,
Come
just
on.
one logo T-shirt. That's enough, and everything to start off. And I get with the ID guys, maybe you don't want, because like you said, he's still in the independent thing, so he's got his own merch and everything. But yeah, I got to do something. Yeah, I got to. Eventually, I mean, even NXT had to start off with the NXT T-shirts at some point before they started giving them merch. And still, even on NXT, not everybody's got merch on NXT. So, but I'm like, yeah, let's wear an Evolve shirt for goodness sakes. Like, so we want to come out there to a taping or whatever the case may be, or even a show. If we're wearing an Evolve shirt, then somebody might be like, oh, what's that and everything. Then you can start discussing because as you go up on the main roster, I learned this by going to that that thing they had last year for Memorial Day, where they had was NXT. It was main event, Battleground, and they had Monday Night Raw, and then they canceled NXT because I guess they were embarrassed about the ticket sales because I bought the 4-day package that got turned to 3. I'm there, and a lot of people was only at Battleground because it was cheaper to get the 3 tickets instead of getting a 1-day ticket to one of the other events. So a lot of them didn't watch NXT. So I was like, oh, I'm there, and I'm like, they're asking me questions about it. I'm like, oh, yeah, it's really, really good. And then you get there, you see the crowd. NXT crowd is different. Just like Evolve crowd would be different than a main roster crowd because the further you go up, the more people watch it, so more casual people watch it. So the hardcore are watching at the lower level, so you just see the difference of the crowd. And I just wish they just promote it more so people can talk about it more. Just be like, what's that? That gets a conversation started. Or, oh, who's this guy? Like
Yeah.
Shawn Legacy. I didn't know Shawn Legacy until Evolve. That's my guy. Shawn Legacy is my guy. Or what? It's Gall. I was like, I didn't even know how to say his name correctly. I'm like, it's Gall? I'm like, wait, how do you say that?
I thought it was It's Gal at first. I was like, it's Gal. What the
Gal.
heck is that?
It's just that, I mean, I like complete sentences and everything. So I'm like, what's a gal and everything? It's Gal. Wait, that's his name. That's how you say it? It's Gal? Like the Crow? And so like stuff like that I had to I'm like, oh, then he grew on, then eventually he grew on me just by watching him week in and week out. And we can't say it's because he was winning matches. It wasn't that just his personality. He got his gimmick over. Keanu Carver, they know Keanu. Well, I kind of vaguely knew Keanu Carver from Level Up. I was like, oh, it's the guy that wears the loincloth. That's what it looked like to me. The leopard skin shorts is what I used to. So I kind of.
Oh God.
Yeah, you remember. You remember.
I try not to, but I remember. Yeah.
So I was like, oh yeah, I know. I'm like, no, I know he's not brand new. So it's like, that's all. Just help us help you promote your own product. That's all.
Yeah. And NXT step it up and everything else. But EOD, final thoughts and rating. Final thoughts and telling your socials. Right here.
All right, my final thoughts for the show is I'm gonna call it a solid B. It wasn't as good as like the last couple weeks. It was entertaining. I don't want to say it was bad. Don't get it wrong. It was good, but it was just, to me, this felt like a standard Evolve episode with like a little bit more bells and whistles. We had a little bit more segments on there, but I think that's just the new normal now with the multiple segments. Before we used to get maybe one backstage segment or whatever. Now we're getting multiple, and stuff like that. So I do like that. But yeah, solid B. And you can find me at all my social medias. If you go to my Linktree / end of days 33, that's / or Linktree / end of days 33, where you can also find my YouTube channel where I do live watch-alongs of Evolve and other WWE shows like SummerSlam this weekend, because I won't be there, but you can watch me stream it live. EOD 33 Wrestling Hub. So that's where you can find me at for my live streams. Shauna?
All
Yes.
right.
Yeah, so I think it was a B as well. It wasn't anything great. It wasn't anything, horrible. We had a lot of storyline building, the segments introducing a lot of new things that are coming up and happening. And I think it was a good way to have the last show of this taping and the new one to kind of be like, here's what's coming, the tapings for the people that think it's weekly, but us that know it's that their tape set up really well. I'm excited to see what happens moving forward, especially with some of the stuff that happened in the tag. So yeah, looking forward to next week, seeing those matches that we get that were set up is going to be really fun and interesting. But you can find me on mainly TikTok and Instagram. I'm slowly working on getting stuff onto my YouTube channel under Shauna Reed's Horror for wrestling content, horror book recommendations. And if you're looking for I'm going to put a plug here for my friend Lucas. If you are looking for a great horror themed wrestling book, check out Pandemonium by Lucas Magnum and Ryan Harding. It's about a secretive underground wrestling promotion that starts giving out free tickets. And as everybody comes in and the doors are locked, then the chaos erupts with their new masked heel and all of the backstage action that ends up happening in the ring.
All right, and Alex?
Yes.
It's a great book.
Awesome.
I love that book so freaking much. It is so good. It's called Pandemonium. It literally is pandemonium. I cannot say much. No, it's great. If you love indie wrestling and you love horror, it's like the perfect blend.
Yes. Now, my final rating, after I'd give it an A on the Evolve effect for reasons, but this is gonna be a B. First match, good match, bad timing for storytelling, because I guess Gabe Sapolsky wants to finish the story in his head. Okay, sure. Second match, A across the board. Third match, it was okay. Rensselaer doing nothing is a minus for a match. And I understand why. I didn't want to say it before, but I'll say it now. There's no one left, guys. If you really think about it, at the moment of tapings, Darcy's gone. Chantal is not really able until a month later, and there's no one else. So you had to bring someone in. Rensselaer, all right, fine, whatever. B for me. And also you can find me on Rican Reactions, RICANREACTIONS. I just found out that the video interview I did with the woman that knows the guy who got unalived at the beach is now been picked up by CBS and Bing. I was like, oh shit, that's kind of badass. Shout out to that. And you can find me on PUWF Wrestling on YouTube. We talk about NXT, Evolve. Saturday, we're going to talk about what Grayson Waller really said. How deep is the implications? Because it goes deeper than just what he says. He's telling the truth, and he kind of exposed his own brand that he's in. So let's talk about that on Saturday. Stay healthy. Stay happy. Shout out to Terrell and CJ Wolfie for real love. Their links are down below. Hear these thoughts on YouTube. His YouTube will be down below. Coach FCHW, you son of a bitch for not being here for 2 weeks during Jensen promos. You lucky. I'll see you next week, hopefully.
Damn.
Yep. I got a bun for him next week. And for Cardi M, always enjoying Tate Wilder. Wild it up. Good night, everybody. We'll see you next week on your Rune. Thank you for those loves. Thank you for that uwu style. You guys need to have a match already, or just hug.
There has been one man that I wanted to take everything that I could from him, to leave him with nothing but the ash of his pride. But for that one man, there have been a dozen or more other dumbasses to get in my way, and justice delayed is justice denied. at me.